If you had told me a year ago that my life would become the plot of betrayal drama, I would have laughed and told you to stop watching so many Netflix thrillers. But here I am. I'm Avery Bennett, 34, marketing executive, married to Nate for 6 years, and until recently, best friend with Jasmine Carter since we were 12 years old. Jasmine was at my wedding. She held my veil as I said, "I do." She toasted us at our engagement party, tearing up while talking about how perfect we were together. She was quite literally family. So imagine what it's like to find out that your chosen sister has been sleeping with your husband behind your back. But I didn't just cry or scream or break things. No, I played the long game. And I made them both regret the day they ever underestimated me. The beginning of the end. The signs were subtle at first. Nate started coming home later, blaming last-minute client meetings or traffic. Jasmine began pulling away. Fewer girls' nights, fewer spontaneous FaceTimes, and always some vague excuse when I asked her to hang out. I thought maybe she was just dating someone new and being secretive, like she always was at the start of a relationship. I even teased her about it. "Oh, come on, Jazz. What's his name? Is he hot? Can he cook?" She just smiled and said, "It's complicated." I didn't press. That was my first mistake. The gut feeling. The real unraveling began 2 weeks before our 6th wedding anniversary. I'd been planning a surprise getaway for Nate, a cozy private Airbnb in the mountains. I checked his calendar while he was in the shower to make sure he was free that weekend. That's when I saw it. A dinner reservation at the Lucerne, the restaurant where we had our first date. Only, the reservation wasn't for us. My name wasn't on it. It was under NC and JC. Nate Carter. Jasmine Carter. I froze. I took screenshots. Copied the details. Breathed, barely. Then I closed his laptop and smiled like nothing was wrong. But something inside me cracked wide open. I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. Confirmation. I needed proof. So I called in a favor from a co-worker's brother who worked in security and surveillance. I gave him the date, time, and location. I didn't even have to explain much. I just told him I suspected an affair and needed eyes on that restaurant. When the footage came in, I watched it alone in my office. There they were, sitting across from each other in a booth, hands brushing, eyes locked like teenagers in love. At one point, Jasmine reached across the table and touched Nate's cheek. He didn't pull away. Later, they kissed, in public, like it was the most normal thing in the world. I felt like I was watching strangers. The two people I loved most, wrapped up in a kind of passion I hadn't seen from Nate in years. The setup. After that, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I schemed. I made copies of every piece of evidence. I hired a private investigator. Not just for more pictures, but to pull bank records, hotel stays, and even text logs. I created a folder labeled insurance on a flash drive and backed it up twice. And then I got to work on my revenge. I hosted a housewarming party. An excuse, really. I told everyone Nate and I were moving to the suburbs, even though we weren't. I made it lavish, classy. I invited all our mutual friends. I invited Jasmine, of course. She showed up wearing my favorite color, burgundy, and smiled like she wasn't a backstabbing snake. Nate was his usual charming self. They really thought they'd gotten away with it. Until dessert. I gathered everyone in the living room and raised a glass. Before we cut the cake, I said sweetly, "I have a surprise." A little video montage I made, a tribute to all the love, laughter, and loyalty the projector clicked on. At first, it showed pictures of Nate and me, vacations, anniversaries, silly selfies. Then the screen flickered. A different image appeared. Nate and Jasmine, holding hands in a hotel lobby, kissing in a car, entering a suite at the Lucerne. Messages on screen. I can't stop thinking about last night. She has no idea. You're so much better than her. Silence swallowed the room. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I sipped my wine. Jasmine's face went pale. Nate tried to lunge a projector, but it was too late. The room erupted in whispers and gasps. Our friends stared in disbelief. Then I turned to Nate still holding my wine glass. Happy anniversary, babe. I hope she was worth everything. The party was the beginning of the end. Jasmine tried to talk to me afterward, sobbing, apologizing, saying it just happened. I told her she was dead to me. Nate begged me to forgive him. He said it was a mistake, that it was meaningless. I served him divorce papers 3 days later, and because of the PI's evidence and the very public display of infidelity, I walked away with the house, the savings, and full control of the narrative. Jasmine lost her job 3 months later. Word got around, and no one wanted to work with a woman who could betray her best friend like that. As for Nate, he moved into a studio apartment downtown. They didn't last. Cheaters rarely do when the thrill fades and real life hits. It's been a year now. I started over. New apartment, new haircut, a therapy group for betrayed partners. I even started dating again, cautiously. I still get messages from people who were at the party. That was iconic. One friend wrote, "You exposed them a class. Legendary." Maybe, or maybe I just wanted them to feel as small as they made me feel. And they did. That night, I didn't just end a marriage or a friendship. I ended a lie and took back my power. So, if you're reading this and wondering if your gut is right, listen to it. And if you're wondering if revenge is worth it, only if you do it right. Because sometimes the best closure is exposure. But they only woke up the part of me that refuses to be a victim. Jasmine moved out of state. Rumor has it, she couldn't face the wreckage she left behind. Nate tried dating a string of women, but word spreads fast in our circles. No one trusts a man who cheats on his wife and gets publicly exposed for it. Me? I rebuilt. Stronger, smarter, and unapologetically done with fake friends and liars. I found peace, not in revenge alone, but in knowing I never stooped to their level. I hit them where it hurt, the truth. No yelling, no scenes, just brutal, undeniable facts. And while they'll carry the stain of betrayal forever, I walked away with my dignity intact, and a freedom they'll never know. This wasn't just the end of my marriage. It was the beginning of me.